2, 3.
Robert here, Bluegrass Bushcraft. Today I'm going to show you a couple knives I've picked up, modifications I've done to one of the knives and the sheaths, and ask your all's help to help me identify these knives. First one I picked up has no markings on it. When I first got it, it had plastic, I don't know what you call them, but it was stitched with plastic instead of any kind of cord or leather. It had fringes on it with little wooden beads on it. I mean, it looked more like a toy case. I took those off, restitched it. I had to double stitch it front and back to fill up where those holes were so big. And inside here it had a little foam insert. I took the foam out and I made a leather insert for it with a thing for the ferro rod. Put a piece of elastic on that. Kind of hard to do one-handed. But I added the ferro rod holder onto it. This handle, it looks like it has a walnut handle on it. 3 brass pins. It has no markings whatsoever on it, so I don't know if it's a handmade knife. Don't know anything about it, but I mean, I wanted a smaller knife for bushcrafting, and it's a pretty knife. And like I said, I don't know anything about it. Let me get this camera to focus in. It's got 3 little holes drilled right there. I don't have a clue what that's for. I don't know much about knives, but I mean, it's a pretty knife. And you see right here, I took a file and filed the spline right there on the end because it was too rounded. I couldn't get it to spark the ferro rod, but I filed that down. Now it strikes the ferro rod real well now. And right after I ground that down, the next day this whole blade turned bronze color. I don't know what caused that. I don't know if I didn't oil it. Maybe it just a rust. I don't know. But whatever it was, it sanded right back off. I don't know if that means it's a cheap metal or what the deal is, but I sanded it off and I've oiled it, and so far it's alright. But if anybody can help me identify that knife, whether it's handmade or whatever, please comment, let me know. Today, at the local swap days, I found this knife here. Get this camera to focus in. It says Mora, made in Sweden on the sheath. But on the actual knife, I don't think his camera's going to focus in. It's not going to focus on that, but it says El Gallo, Sweden. I looked it up on the internet. The only thing I could find, I found one on the internet just like it. Same sheath and everything. And that guy said he thought it was a fake Mora. But I mean, I don't know anything about it. I never had a Mora. It was really dull when I got it on right in this part of the blade where it gets most of the use. It's really dull, but up here, this end of the blade, it would shave me. But I mean, it sharpened up really well. I mean, it sliced paper really easy. But like I said, I don't know anything about it. It doesn't say more on it except for the sheath. It's got a spline, comes all the way out to a point. It's got a little washer on it. It's kind of riveted down. But it's a pretty little knife. Here, this is my first attempt of my wet forming in leather. Got in kind of a hurry. I couldn't find my snaps. I didn't have a snap, so I was messing around with it and I made a mistake. I tried to cut it out before I was ready to stitch it and cut a little too close, but I mean it still worked. It's just kind of close. A little bit rough around the edges, but I mean it's a solid case. I've had this multi-tool 15 plus years. I've been through a couple of the canvas cases with it. The end of the pliers, they eat through the bottom of the canvas and it wears a hole through her in no time. But that's my first wet forming. If I'm making another one, I'll do a little better job on it. Just want to say thanks to all you guys out there in YouTube land. I watched a lot of different videos on wet forming. Really appreciate all the information I got from you. You know, there's some really good videos out there. But there it is. Alright, let's see if Lexi wanted to say anything.
I hope you all enjoyed this thing. See you next week and bye.
Thank you. Alright, it's been Robert, Bluegrass Bushcraft. If anybody knows anything about these knives, if you'll please leave me a comment. I really appreciate it. Alright, see y'all on the next one.